So you want to find more customers. What do you say to attract them to your world? And not only that, what do you say to get them to actually start buying things from you, not just grazing? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share with you a practice that is going to pull out the exact things you should be saying. This is going to be a good one. Let's get started. Hey there, this is Corinna Bench, and welcome to the My Digital Farmer podcast. In today's market, it's not enough to just grow your product. You've got to know how to sell it too. Welcome to the My Digital Farmer podcast, where we reveal online marketing strategies and tips to help farmers like you get better and more confident at marketing. Learn how to find more customers, increase your sales, and build a strong brand for your farm. Let's start the show. Well, welcome to episode 262 of the My Digital Farmer podcast. I am your host, Corinna Bench, one of the farmers at Shared Legacy Farms out in Elmore, Ohio. I'm also the founder of MyDigitalFarmer.com, which is all about trying to help other farmers like you get more confident in your marketing and sales strategies so that you can grow a profitable business. How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to the show. Big shout out to all of my regular listeners. Super glad you're here. And if you're new, welcome. Glad you're here today. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you end up liking it. And I always tell people to go check out my first 10 episodes because I designed them to be kind of like an onboarding into the marketing fundamentals. Another great place you can go to learn the ropes and kind of get on the same page as everyone else who listens to the show is to subscribe to my email list. And you can do that by going to mydigitalfarmer.com/subscribe. Easy to remember. And when you do, I'm going to send you an email like twice a week for about 3 months. And it's basically going to walk you through the jungle, the marketing jungle, and clarify for you the key fundamentals you need to know, some of the influencers you should follow, products, tools. I'm going to give you some free resources. It's really, really good. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on it. So mydigitalfarmer.com/subscribe. Today's podcast is sponsored by my friends at LocalLine. Well, it's here. LocalLine's own point of sale POS feature is now available. The LocalLine team has been committed to building the best sales software for farmers, producers, and food hubs, and payments are a huge part of that. Local Pay, which is LocalLine's own payment gateway, offers farmers an alternative to standard credit card processors like Stripe and Square. With Local Pay, you can save on credit card fees. You can accept ACH payments. And now you can even accept in-person payments with a POS device. They built this feature because not every transaction happens online. And as a LocalLine customer, you need a way to accept in-person payments, but keep your inventory in sync. Their point of sale feature is included with every LocalLine subscription. And you can purchase POS devices directly through LocalLine. Are you looking to switch to sales software that does it all? Because subscriptions to LocalLine start as low as $49 a month, everyone, with no setup fees or sales percentages. Plus, if you join LocalLine today, your onboarding manager will migrate your storefront at no cost. So you'll be able to be up and running in no time. We love LocalLine, highly recommend them. And as a bonus, as a podcast listener, LocalLine is offering a free premium feature for 1 year with your subscription when you sign up using my coupon code. So go to mydigitalfarmer.com/LocalLine and then enter the coupon code MDF2024. Make the switch today. Join LocalLine. And now back to the show. All right, I'm recording this towards the end of April. My voice is still a little bit weak. If you've been listening to some of my past episodes, you know that I have been struggling with illness for the last 3 months, and it has been diagnosed, I think accurately. I'm basically healing myself from a pretty bad case of acid reflux, or GERD. I am now on week 7 of the detox low acid diet that I'm following. And I kind of turned a major corner a few days ago, had one of my huge symptoms completely evaporate in a matter of 30 minutes. But I still do have like a hoarseness with my voice, and just my voice hurts after I talk for a while. So I still have a few symptoms that need to clear up. And so as a result, I'm trying to kind of record some shorter episodes here. So thank you for your patience. Before we get started, I wanted to quickly read a review that came in from one of the podcast listeners. This one comes from Laura from Next Chapter Farm in Middlebury, Vermont. She sent me a postcard back in 2021. So this is pretty old. But Laura, I don't even know if you listen anymore, but if you do, I want you to know that this postcard has been sitting on my desk for the last 3 years. And I love to read it because every now and then when I'm feeling a little down and out, or I'm not sure that anything I'm doing is gaining traction, I read some of these cards that people send me, and it's really encouraging. So this is what it says. Thanks for continuing to be a beacon of sanity and wisdom as I navigate the CSA marketing and process world. Mine is tiny but tidy, and your guidance has made all the difference. Wishing you a safe, cozy, and rejuvenating winter. Laura from Next Chapter Farm in Vermont. Thank you so much, Laura, for this awesome review. And anybody who's out there who wants to send a short note to me and let me know how the podcast has helped you, I would love to hear from you. You can either email it to me at mydigitalfarmers@gmail.com, or you can send me a snail mail like Laura did. She figured out where my farm was, and I might end up reading it on the show. Today's podcast is sponsored by Farm Marketing School. This is my monthly membership where farmers can come in and build marketing assets one at a time in special 30-day build projects that I've created for you. Right now, there are like 8 projects inside of Farm Marketing School, and every month a new one gets added, and you basically subscribe for 30 days, or you can stay in for a couple months or 3 months. You can stay in the whole year. But what you're doing is you go inside and you decide, this is the project that I want to work on. You take the class, the workshop class that's recorded, you just watch it, and then you build it yourself. So this is the DIY version of Accelerator. There's no coaching element or mastermind or Zoom meetups. It's just you going in there, watching the class that the accelerators saw live with me, and then working on it on your own. So if you're a DIY type of person and you think you can do it yourself, this is an amazing resource. There are projects in there for how to build a promotion plan, how to build your email nurture sequence, how to write a great weekly email, how to build the website homepage messaging, what goes on that homepage, how to build a lead magnet, and more. So if you want to see what's in the Farm Marketing School, you can head to mydigitalfarmer.com/FMS. And I encourage you to subscribe for 1 month. Check it out. I have a whole onboarding, like a crash course in marketing, that I encourage you to take in your first week. There's an assessment inside of there that's going to help you know which elements you should build first. It's so good, and I would love it if you would give it a shot for a month. Let me know what you think, and if you decide you like it, you can stay in there for several months in the off season and get a ton of your marketing stuff done. Today, I thought it would be fun to talk about how to find more clients. And the reason I am focusing on this topic right now is because when you actually hear this podcast, it'll be probably end of May. And this is the time when our seasons wake up, at least as vegetable farmers, when we're trying to sell our products and we want to start the year out strong. And a lot of times I have farmers ask me, well, I have a bunch of people who are on my email list, but they don't buy, or I have people who walk by my farm stand and they say I'm too expensive, and they just kind of glance around and they don't actually buy. How do I attract more people to my brand, but the people that will actually want to purchase? So I thought that I would share a practice with you. This is something that you can do in about 30 minutes, and it's going to be incredibly helpful for you to dial in your messaging and know what it is you're supposed to say and talk about with your traffic in front of your audiences to try and find the people who are a good fit for your brand and get them to actually purchase. A very common question that farmers will ask me is, well, what do I even talk about? How do I know what to say? And this thing that I'm going to share with you today is going to give you the answers to that. So in general, there are kind of two categories or topics that we want to be lifting up a lot in our messaging that will do the job of attracting leads and buyers into our sales funnel. The first category is when we talk about the problem that our customer has, the problem that we solve for our clients. Now, I know a lot of us are like, well, I don't want to be someone who's always focused on the negative. I get that. Okay, so I'm not saying that this is all we talk about, but we need to be hinting at how we are helpful to people in the world, in our local communities. And you do solve a problem for your customers. So at a very base level, people have to eat, right? They get hungry, they need calories, and so you are solving that problem for them. But for many of us, it's a little bit deeper than that. There's kind of an emotional connection that you're making in many cases. So another problem that many of my clients have is that they feel disconnected from their food, or they feel distrustful of their food source. They're not sure that it's safe to eat, or they just really want to know and have that peace of mind, that transparency, food transparency. They want to know their farmer. And so you could argue that those are, in a way, problems that I solve for people by offering food from a local farmer that they know and trust and they can see every day and shake my hand and look me in the eye when they come and buy. Or you could say some people come and join our CSA or buy our produce from our online store because they have health issues. Maybe they're in recovery from cancer, or like I'm going through acid reflux right now. So I have a huge appreciation for the role of diet as medicine. And so you have people like that who are looking for an answer to a very severe problem in their physical world, and they see you as the solution, right? So one topic in general is to just really dial into what are the problems that my customer has? How is that problem actually manifesting in their world? In other words, if I could follow them around all day with a video camera or my iPhone and snap pictures of the moments in time where they're experiencing that burn, or where my problem comes in and solves the problem or saves the day and overcomes that burn for them, that is what we're trying to find. That's what we're trying to talk about, those moments, those actual like moments in their life where they're so glad they have my product, right? Can you snap that picture and somehow tell that word picture in your story or speak about those values in your messaging? So first of all, that's kind of the first topic that I want to just remind you is very effective when we talk more about the problem that we solve for people. That will drive more people into your sales funnel. This is one of the reasons why when you build your website, it's a good practice to start out your messaging with what's called the problem section. Donald Miller is the person who taught me this. The Building a Story Brand book, which is an amazing read. It's one of my top marketing books I think every farmer should read, goes into this in detail. You want to make sure that you start out by focusing on the problem. And so, for instance, on my website, Shared Legacy Farms, right underneath the header image, there's this headline that says, "Do you know where your food comes from?" That's the headline. And the suggestion is, no, I don't. And that's why I'm here, because I know that that's the underlying root cause of why many people come to my farm in the first place. They don't feel like they have food transparency. They're not sure about how their food's grown. They want to know their farmer. And so I kind of stick my finger in that wound and I wiggle it around, right? I make them feel the burn. Underneath that headline I have, with so many middlemen muddying up the food supply chain, it's hard to know for sure how your food was grown. And that's a problem. We are here to reconnect you with a local Ohio vegetable farm you can trust. Okay, so that's how I kind of get at that messaging, that problem messaging. So touching base with people on the problem, putting that into your marketing, talking about that in your social media is going to be one key element. Now, I'm going to talk to you in a minute about how you can find out what those problems are, but I just want to give you here an overview. The second category or topic that we like to lead with if we want to attract more clients, of the right clients, is we talk about the transformation that our product provides, the transformation that we know our customer is looking for. So this is where you really need to know the answer to this question. What does your customer want? I want you to think about that for a minute. I know they have a problem, but they also have a want. They have a deep desire. Sometimes the desire is to get rid of the problem, but sometimes it's not so much motivated by a problem as it is by like just something that they really long for. And so an example of this might be, for us at least as a farm, I want to be creative in my kitchen. I want to be unleashed as a creative, and I want to have the freshest ingredients possible so that I can feel like a master chef. And I just want to enjoy myself with my food. Okay. So I'm sure there's a way that you could find a way to turn that into a problem, but that's more of like a desire, right? That's a transformation. I want to become this better version of myself. And I'm looking for a tool or a resource or something out there, a product that's going to help me do that. And our farm is able to step in and say, we've got this vegetable box that can help you do that every single night. Now, again, when you are trying to figure out what are these transformation topics, what you're looking for are vignettes. You're looking for word pictures. You're looking for actual real life moments that happen to real people in your client base. How does this manifest in their actual 3D world? So if you follow them around with a video camera, where is the evidence? Where's that moment of transformation happening? Can you snap a picture of it? Is it at the kitchen table when the mom unveils this glorious dish that she spent an hour working on using your box, and she's so proud of it, and her husband says, "This is amazing," or the kids scarf it down, and deep down inside she knows it's also healthy, and she has this feeling of satisfaction and pride, right? Click. Is that the moment? So what does it actually look like in real life if you could go and touch it and capture it on film? Those are the transformation messages that we're really seeking and looking for that are going to help us find new clients. Because if we can talk more about those moments, if we can point to them, suggest that they're going to happen to other people, or in the case of the problem stories, if we can stick our finger in them and really flesh out those stories and give details and say, does this ever happen to you? Does this sound familiar? We have a lot of people that have had this happen in our life, and now they have this, the before and after. That's the stuff that's going to resonate. The people who are looking for your product are going to read that and say, oh, they get me. This is what I want. They're holding up the mirror and showing me the life that I want to have. I want to be a part of this farm. Okay, so problem, transformation, those are two key areas of messaging that we always want to lean back on. If you're ever struggling and wondering, what do I talk about in my weekly email? What do I talk about in a text message? What do I talk about on social media or wherever you are doing top of funnel content? This is kind of your fail-safe. Now, here is the exercise that I want to give you to help you figure out what this could be for you, because maybe you're struggling to know, what are those vignettes? What are those stories? What are those phrases and words that my actual customer uses? So what I want you to do is I want you to go and find your Google reviews. Or maybe you have testimonials living somewhere else. Maybe you have Facebook testimonials. Go and find where your reviews are. And I want you to copy and paste every single Google review you have, unless it's like thousands and you don't have the time for that. I get it. But go and copy at least like 100 or 200 of them and put them into a Google Doc. And then I want you or someone on your team to read them. And as you read them, you are going not only to feel amazing about yourself, this is like therapy, but you are going to start to see certain themes pop up again and again. It will be phrases. It will be literal vignettes, those snapshot moments that I talked about. You're going to see some of them pop out. Not a ton, but you'll see a few. You'll see feeling words. You'll see evidence of transformation and life change. And I want you to look for the patterns, not the one that's like the one singular weird story that no one else said. But what are the ones you hear over and over again? And I want you to write those down or highlight them or somehow keep track of them. And by the time you finish reading those 200 reviews, you are going to have a ton of clarity about what you need to be talking about in your social media, emails, texts, wherever you are, even in person, okay? The words, the phrases, the values language, the feeling words, the examples of how they've changed, the things that are most likely to happen to many of your clients because you see the patterns over and over again. That's the stuff that you can talk about now in your social media. Use those phrases, talk about those examples, throw up a random picture that kind of goes along with it, but that's the stuff. Put that on your website too. Share those testimonials in your product descriptions. Those reviews are going to give you, they're a gold mine, and they're going to give you the language and the topic and the content map for you for at least the next 2 or 3 months. Okay? So that's my exercise for you. Now, here is a little extra bonus. If you have the time, this would be kind of fun. And if you're into exploring AI and ChatGPT, take that Google Doc, copy and paste it, and stick it into ChatGPT. Give a little prompt and say, hey, ChatGPT, I want you to take on the identity of a marketing research expert for farmers. And I'm going to share with you my Google reviews. And I would like for you to look for a pattern. What are the common patterns that you see from all of these different reviews? Give me the top 10, something like that. Give it a prompt and then see what ChatGPT does. Ask it to basically analyze your reviews and tell you what are the patterns that it sees. And you can be very specific about the kinds of things you want ChatGPT to look for and just put that into your prompt. And my phone is blowing up. Are you hearing it? I'm going to turn that off. Sorry. But try using ChatGPT and see what it comes up with, because it might actually give you some different data than the stuff that you saw yourself. Now, don't let that be the shortcut for actually reading the reviews yourself, because I think there's a lot of value in you absorbing that. It will stick, some of that stuff that you read is going to stick with you, so that when you kind of just organically go through your day or you're having sales conversations in person with someone, because you have that knowledge in your head, some of those impressions, it's going to allow you to know what to lean on and lean into when you're messaging and talking with a client. And you won't get that if you just rely on your ChatGPT to do it for you, okay? I hope that this is a fun exercise for you. I know it was for me. I sort of have a pretty good sense of who my client is. I had my finger on the pulse of my business, but I still think this is a great practice to get some of the specific words, to see some of the stories, especially like the life-changing stories that come up again and again. Like I have a lot of them around health and around children. And so that sort of reminds me that I could talk more about that in my different platforms, and it would likely attract more of those kinds of clients who also want that life change for their families. Remember, like attracts like. And so the whole point of this is if you want to attract more clients like the ones you already have, some of those ideal customers, you need to know how your current ones think. You need to know how they talk. You need to know what they value. And then you basically hold up those words and those images and you share them out into the world. And what that does is it will act almost like a mirror. You hold up that mirror to the big wide world, and the people who see themselves in that mirror will want to come and follow you. Customer research is one of the most important things that you can do in your business, no matter where you are. If you're beginning as a brand new client, it's very important to make that a priority in the first couple years. But even if you've been around for a few years and you've never done this, wow, your business is going to blow up if you take the few hours to start working on this. Now, there are a couple of resources that I want to share with you if you want to dive a little deeper into this customer research sort of concept. First of all, inside of Farm Marketing School, which is my online monthly membership, I have 2 resources. I have a project called Customer Research Bootcamp, and this is going to do a deep dive and help you find out everything you need to know about your customer avatar, at least the stuff you need to know in order to be able to do marketing fairly well and attract more leads and clients. But the second one is a testimonial project, and this is a new release that just went in May, early May. So it's my newest project, and it's going to basically in 30 days help you find testimonials. So acquire testimonials and deploy them in key places in your marketing so that you attract more of those clients. Those are 2 really powerful projects that are living inside of Farm Marketing School, and you can subscribe and take any of the classes that are in Farm Marketing School. You can take as many as you want. But those are 2 that are really good, that are going to help you kind of dial into this messaging element and understanding who your client is. Okay, so I lift those up to you. If you want to check out Farm Marketing School, you can just subscribe for a month, then cancel after you've taken the class that you want to take and built the marketing asset that you want to make. Go to mydigitalfarmer.com/FMS, and you can learn more about it. Okay, that's all I got today. Today's show notes can be found at mydigitalfarmer.com/262. And if you liked this episode, please share it with a friend. Grab the URL and text it to somebody, or post it in a farmer Facebook group that you might be a part of, or in some of your different communities. Help people find out that this marketing resource exists. And I would love it if you would leave a review for the show on Apple Podcasts, or send me a little email or a message over Instagram, and I might end up sharing that testimonial on the show. If you want to continue the conversation, I'm always on Instagram at mydigitalfarmer. I like to show up there inside of stories. Would love to connect with you there. I'm looking for podcast guests. So if you have a farmer that you'd like to have featured on the show, or if something really cool is working in your farm marketing journey, or maybe you just want your farm marketing funnel audited, reach out to me. We'll see if it's a match. You can go to mydigitalfarmers@gmail.com, and we can connect. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. Have an awesome week. I believe in you. Take care.